Good afternoon, Facebook Live. It is July 7th. It's Peggy Hubbard here. I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes before we get started. I have some information that I want to share with you all regarding Black Lives Matter and some interesting facts I just found out about Black Lives Matter that you guys don't even know took place over this weekend, and we're going to get started. Okay, I got 120, 190. Okay, we're about to get started here. On July 1st, there were two rallies that were held. One was in New York, one was in Washington, D.C. Black Lives Matter rally was held this past weekend, 4th of July weekend. One was in New York, other one is in Washington, D.C. At this rally, it was a pro-Palestinian Black Lives Matter rally. Now, in this rally, this is what they said. They were holding up the Palestinian flags. Breitbart reported this, so did Fox News. Black Lives Matter is not what it appears to be. They have nothing to do with actual black lives. They have used, excuse me, they have used George Floyd's death as a catalyst to actually anger black people. And we saw the fallout from that. Now, Black Lives Matter has been doing this ever since Trayvon Martin. Now, Trayvon Martin, as you know, was killed by George Zimmerman. And that is a real wake-up call right there. That should have never have happened. In Trayvon Martin's death, I felt George Zimmerman should have been jailed for that. I do. That's my personal feelings about it. But all these other individuals that have been killed by the police, Black Lives Matter catapulted their organization off the backs of dead black men killed by police. Now, this past weekend, Black Lives Matter has now morphed into anti-Semitism against Jews. They are now pushing anti-American rhetoric. Black Lives Matter is a socialist, Marxist organization that are hell-bent on destroying America. Now we have Palestinians that are now being known throughout the Black Lives Matter movement. They are now pushing an agenda within Black Lives Matter to bring down America. So we have these two lesbian women, black women, that are against the traditional black households, against black men, against religion, against Jews, against Americans, against whites. Now they're calling for boroughs in New York, particularly Harlem and Brooklyn, to be all black settlements. So now this is what they're saying. At the pro-Palestinian Black Lives Matter rally that was held this past week in New York and Washington, D.C., chants were heard calling for the death of Israel and the death of America. This is what Black Lives Matter is pushing. It is not about the black betterment of the black community. No, it's not. When you had over 152 people, black people, shot in one weekend, now 7 children are dead. One succumbed to his gunshot wounds here in St. Louis. 8-year-old boy dead over the holiday weekend. Black. You don't hear anything from Black Lives Matter. You don't hear anything from Expect Us St. Louis, that other bullshit group. Expect Us. You don't hear anything from them about all these children that are being murdered. Nothing at all. But this is what they said. They said that they want death to America. They're calling for death of Israel. And they want the Gaza Strip in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. And as you all know, Minneapolis is a hotbed for Ilhan Omar and her group that are anti-American, that are anti-Israel. They want to take over Minneapolis, Minnesota, and make it their own personal Gaza, their own personal Muslim-only zone. Not a Christian zone, a Muslim zone. Not a Jewish zone, a Muslim zone. Not an American zone, a Muslim zone. So now Black Lives Matter is no longer Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter has now morphed into, now it is Palestinian ran. Linda Sauer, she's all up in Black Lives Matter. These two women that run it, they already admitted they're Marxists, they're socialist, and they are communist. They want to destroy America. And how do you destroy America? You destroy it from within. That is what they're doing. They're destroying us from within. All of these riots, this is all planned. This is what the Democratic Party is allowing. This is what they want. They want to tear down and destroy every statue in this country, from Jesus Christ to Chuck Berry. Oh yeah, the Chuck Berry statue here in St. Louis, that was vandalized. They even vandalized Stevie Ray Vaughan, the jazz guitarist. Yeah, he's white. Frederick Douglass statue was vandalized. Frederick Douglass, black man, abolitionist. Yeah, they destroyed his statue as well. So what does socialism do? They destroy civilizations, Western civilizations. That is what they're doing. Capitalism is bad. Socialism is good. And they're selling these young kids socialism. They're telling them that they don't have to work for what they want, that they can just take what they want. Everything that we built as Americans should be turned over to them. Everything I worked hard for in my life should be turned over and shared with them. They don't want to work. What they want to do is destroy America from within. And I'm doing my homework right now and looking at all the footage from all these rallies. Palestinians are now taking over. Black Lives Matter. It is no longer about black lives. It is now about the destruction of America. It is now, that is what they're doing. And if you don't believe me, I posted it on my page so you can read it for yourself, what their plans are and what their intentions are for America. They want to come in, kill, steal, and destroy. It is not about the black people anymore. It is not about the black people, not about the black community. It was never about George Floyd. It was never about Mr. Brooks. It was never about all the dead people that have been shot and killed in Chicago, in St. Louis, and all our American cities. It's not about those black lives. What Black Lives Matter is all about, America, is taking America away from us. That is what it's all about. That is what they're trying to do. You don't believe me? Read it for yourself. I made the story. I made the piece public so you all can read it, so you all can share it. But Black Lives Matter is now in bed with the Palestinians, with Linda Sauer, George Soros, the Democratic Party. They are trying to destroy America from within. And that is their grand agenda. Has nothing to do with the black lives. And I am so ashamed of my black people not picking up what is happening right up under their noses. That this movement has been hijacked long ago. And it's all about socialism. It's all about communism. It's all about Marxism. That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with the deaths of black people. It has nothing to do with police brutality. It has nothing to do with the black community. All this money that they're raising, it is not coming to the black community. Not one dime is gone to any major black community in this country. Not one dime. And trust me, I worked for the IRS for over 15 years. I know how to track money. I know where to look. And guess what? Not one dime has gone into the black community. Now what they want us to do is they want to have a blackout day. And what is a blackout day? Somebody asked me. A blackout day is a day where black Americans are asked not to shop or patronize any white-owned businesses. That we're supposed to shop only black-owned businesses. It's pretty hard to shop black-owned businesses when you assholes burned it down. And now those black businesses that are now going to rebuild are not going to be rebuilding in the black community. They're taking their hard-earned money, their tax money, their insurance money. They're taking their hard-earned money, and they are going out to the suburbs, to the white suburbs. Because we black folks burned them out of business. We showed them how much we appreciate black-owned businesses. We looted their businesses. We burned down their businesses. We destroyed their businesses. So why in the hell would a black-owned business owner build back in the black community when we already showed them what we feel about them? Now you want me as a black American to shop only black-owned businesses today. We don't have any. Eugenius has burned it down. They're gone. They moved on. They moved away. They're going to rebuild out in the white suburbs where they feel appreciated. That's what they're going to do. I, for one, are not buying into your bull. I, for one, are planning on going shopping. As soon as I'm finished here, I'm running my little black ass to Harley Davidson. I need me some new riding boots. I would have bought me some riding boots from a black business, but guess what? Over in St. Louis during the last riot, my boy's shop, Todd, he had a motorcycle shop. Guess what happened to it during Ferguson? You fools went in there and tore it up. Now, instead of giving my money to that black man and supporting him, I got to go to the Harley Davidson dealership and buy my motorcycle boots there at full price. That's what you did. You literally, systematically destroyed black-owned businesses. And now y'all want us as black folks to shop only black-owned businesses. When right now in this country, black-owned businesses are only at 3%. You burned down the other 5%. So we had 8% of ownership in this country. Now we're down to 3% because you fools done destroyed it. But you want me as a black woman to support black-owned businesses. My husband has a barber, black-owned barber, black-owned business. My husband has a barber, and I love him to death. He's a good guy. He really is. His barbershop sign says he opens at 8 a.m. You know what time he actually opens? Whenever he feels like it. He opens up 10 o'clock, 9:30, 9:45. Sometimes he don't even open at all. My husband has to call him on the phone and say, hey, dude, where you at? I'm standing here at your door. Aren't you going to come in today? I need my hair cut. Only thing he gets is an answering machine. But you want us to back black-owned businesses. And the ones that we do try to back, and the ones we do try to uplift, and the ones we do try to support, you burn them down. You loot them. But yet, you want me to uplift black-owned businesses. Outrageous. But I digress. Black Lives Matter is not about the embetterment, the empowerment of black Americans. They are not. This is an organization that is backed by George Soros. This is an organization that has been hijacked by the Palestinian movements. This is an organization that is ran by communist, Marxist, socialist women that are against God. They are now harassing churchgoers. They are now harassing churches, temples, synagogues. This is what Black Lives Matter has morphed into. It is not about the black man. It is not about police brutality. Do not be fooled. That is exactly what they're about. They are not about the black people. They're about segregation, Jim Crow, everything Dr. King bled, fought, and literally died for. These fools want to segregate us again. This is taken from the Democratic playbook. The Democrats started segregation. The Democrats gave us Jim Crow. The Democrats gave us lynchings. The Democrats gave us voter fraud. The Democrats gave us the ghetto. The Democrats took the black man out of the household when they gave us welfare and the Great Society. The Democrats fought to keep us in chains. The Democrats murdered our black men. The Democrats did all of this. Now the Democrats are harvesting. They're now benefiting from Black Lives Matter. If you can't get socialism one way, we're going to build a bullshit organization ran by two crazy-ass bitches. Yes, they are. I call it the way I see it. And we're going to try to run America into the ground. And I be damned, as a veteran, am I going to allow them to take my country, your country, our country? Has nothing to do with race. What this has to do with is being an American. That's what it's all about. It's not about race, ladies and gentlemen. America, it is not about race. Black Lives Matter is not about race. They're about world domination. They are about world domination. Has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with black people. It is world domination they want. They're starting in the black community because they see in the black community we are the weakest link. We will believe whatever they tell us. We will buy into whatever they want us to buy into without question. We are the weakest link in this country, and they see that, and they are profiting on that. They are marginalizing us as black people. They are playing on our emotions. They're getting us fired up. They're getting us angry. They got other black people calling black people coons, calling for lynching of black people. Black people are calling for the lynching of other black people if we don't subscribe to their victimization. That's what's going on in America. Has nothing to do with race. It has to do with taking over America. And systematically, we are the weakest link in this chain, and they are coming hard for the black community because they know they can roll us over. They can tell us anything they want to tell us. They can get us angry. They can get us out there to do their dirty work, to do their fight. That is what they're doing right now, right here in America. Black Lives Matter is no longer Black Lives Matter. It is now being ran by George Soros, Linda Sauer, the Palestinian Movement, Ilhan Omar, AOC. They are doing the work to bring socialism, communism, and Marxism to America. Y'all need to come together and not be fooled, and look at everything for what it is. It is not about black people. This is all about taking America. And they are using the weakest link in our country, the most vulnerable people. And I hate to use that word, weakest link. I really hate to use that, but you know what? When it's staring you right in the face, when they are telling you what their plans are, when the woman is telling you flat out she is a Marxist, a communist, and a socialist, as black people, we are not picking up what they're telling us. The white people are not the ones putting us back in the plantations. It is Black Lives Matter. They are systematically, mentally putting you back on that plantation. And I, for one, I be damned if I'm going to go back without a fight. I'm Peggy Hubbard. Like my page, share this video. America, you better wake up. I'm telling you what's going down right here, right now. Black Lives Matter is now being ran by Palestinians. They are now in bed with Black Lives Matter, and their agenda is to destroy America, destroy our ally, Israel, and take away our rights. I'm not wearing a mask anymore. Because think about it. All these women that are wearing masks, that is what they want. They want to see how many of you are actually sheep. I, for one, am not a sheep. I'm not buying what they're putting down. I'm not dealing with it. I am not a sheep. Look at what it is and look at it for what it is. They are not for black people. They are for the destruction of America. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. And how do you destroy a nation? You destroy it from within. You get them to tear each other apart. And that's exactly what's happening in our country right now. Share this video. Let's discuss this. And if I find out anything more, I'll let you know. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I love you very much. Peace.